Charanam. Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagnaihi Sankirtana Prayayir Yajante Sumedasaha Antah Krishnam Bahir Gauram Darshitangadi Vaibhavam Kalau Sankirtanadya Ismaha Krishna Chaitanyamashritah जयतां मथुरा भूमौ श्रीलरूपसनातनौ यौ विलेकयतस्तत्त्वं ज्ञापकौ पुस्तिकामिमां कोऽपि तद्बान्धवो भट्टो दक्षिणद्विजवंशजः विविच्य विलिखद्ग्रन्थं लिखिताद्वृद्धवैष्णवैः तस्याद्यं ग्रन्थनालेकं क्रान्तव्युत्क्रान्तखण्डितम् पर्यालोच्चात पर्यायं कृत्वा लिखति जेवकः यश्रीकृष्ण पादाम्भोजा भजनैकाभिलाषवान् तेनैव दृश्यतामेतद् अन्यस्मै शपथोऽर्पितः श्रीमद्भागवतं श्रीमन्मन्त्रदेशिकमीश्वरम् श्रीमद्भागवतार्थानां सन्दर्भं कर्तुमाश्रये अथ नत्वा मन्त्रगुरून् गुरून् भागवतार्थदान् श्रीभागवत सन्दर्भं वश्मि लेखितुम् यस्य ब्रह्मेति संज्ञां क्वचिदपि निगमे याति चिन्मात्र सत्ता व्यंसो यस्यांशकैस्वैर्विभवति वशयन्नेव मायां पुमांश्च एकं यस्यैव रूपं विलसति परमव्योम्नि नारायणाख्यं स श्रीकृष्णो विदत्तां स्वयमिह भगवान् प्रेम तत्पादभाजाम्। हरे कृष्णा। कैसे हैं? हाउ आर यू? डूइंग फाइन। वाओ। Where? Upadhi is unreal. Why? We are discussing the Prameya Khanda, second Anuched. So till now what we concluded, what we understood, who is going to tell? Okay, Ashtray Gaurang Prabhu, tell.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Just yesterday completed all the lecture hearing.
Oh, nice.
Last lecture, we heard that according to Sankara, this Chinmatra Satta is there Mahan Khanda Vidya Upahitam, covered by Vidya. It becomes Ishvara.
Ishvara, yes.
And Kanyan Khanda Jiva, that becomes Jiva.
Yes.
This is what Sankaracharya saying.
Yes.
In that our Acharya, they also give example, word used Parichinna and Pratibimba.
Yes.
So our Acharya condemned both the examples, both the philosophy, how Parichinna is not possible. There are many different ways we defeated, and how Pratibimba also not possible.
Yes.
many ways be defeated.
Yes. So yeah, Pratibimba and Parichedavada, which is explained, that means explained by the Shankaracharya, are not feasible actually. They cannot. That means cannot uh, bring the difference between the Ishvara and Jiva, because the process itself is not possible actually. Parichedavada is not possible, or otherwise Pratibimbavada is not possible, which was explained by the Shankaracharya. So in that way we cannot do that. The reasons, so we have seen that we defeated how we said that Paribimbavada and Parichedavada both are not feasible. How we said, what is the process we adopted? Mike.
So we took one example of rope.
Yes.
Considering rope as a snake, that is not the real.
Okay, but what I am asking, Pratibimbavada and Parichedavada both are not feasible actually, are possible. So explain how. Huh? Oh, acha. So yes, can take.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah,
I don't want to interrupt, but just a technical question.
yeah.
That you mentioned there are 4 types of vakyas, Veda, Abeda, Vishishta Vakya, and what is the 4th?
Fourth, I forgot actually. I didn't search.
Oh, okay. And I was just wondering, what was the point you were making by that? You were speaking about Upadhi Taratamya not working.
Why I was speaking that sentence, because so there are these several ways to reject the philosophy which is given by the Shankaracharya. So we can show that is another way. That means by showing his interpretation is unable to justify the other vakyas. His interpretation or his way of explaining the truth is only justifying the abheda vakyas, but not the other vakyas. The samanvaya of the Bheda Vakyas is not done properly based upon his philosophy. So that's for purpose. I just went but I withdrew my explanation from there actually, because
okay, thank you.
Yeah, who is saying this? Explain.
2 things happen, 2 conditions to explain.
Yes, 2 conditions we took to explain what?
Yeah, how Jiva and Ishwar is different, but according to Shankaracharya Advaitana, so they defeated how in case of Upadhi is real and or Upadhi is unreal, both case what Shankaracharya gave explanation based on Parichedvada and Parichinnavadana. So these are not accepted by just Vaishnava. This defeated, this itself is defeating.
Your understanding still unclear. So this Upadhi is real and unreal.
So we will explain ahead. I'm giving just a heading.
No.
How we defeated, no?
So how we defeated? What is the statement? We want to. What question I am asking? I am asking how the Pratibimbavada and Parichedavada is not feasible.
Yes.
So how it is explained?
So
This,
yes. So
this point you should
that
answer.
is not feasible in 2 conditions. First one is taken as Upadhi is real, and another is taken Upadhi is unreal. Both cases. If Upadhi is taken real, so it is said like that, na? Just like Jiva, Ishwara is like,
you should say like this, Prabhu. So the feasibility of the Paricheda and Pratibimba is rejected because so here that's the rejection is done by considering the Upadhi. So
real.
one time as real and another time as unreal. Like this.
Yes. So the feasibility of Parichedvada and what is
Pratibimbavada
is he has defeated.
Is rejected.
Rejected because in case of
by considering one
by
time
considering upadhi is real and upadhi is unreal.
yeah.
First case upadhi is real,
Uh,
so it is suppose it taken Brahman and Brahman is undivided.
yes.
So it is if taken upadhi just like Ishwar is a vidya upadhi and just if and jiva is like avidya.
Yes.
So if Ishwar is Brahman is real and as all pervasive as well as and
no. Your
it cannot be broken. It cannot be break. Like upadhi is real, na?
understanding is not digested actually. Your understanding is superficially looking. So it should come from the stomach actually inside. So it digested way. It is coming from the tongue actually. It should come from the inside. Yes. Yeah. You want to try? Okay. Okay. Prabhuji is okay. You do. Yes. Tell.
Yeah,
Because he rose the hand first.
okay, thanks. So if the upadhis are real,
Yeah.
Brahman is one entity.
Yeah.
So it cannot be divided at all actually.
Yeah. Upadhi, if first step is what? Upadhi, if we take real,
Yeah.
then, so now what we are explaining? Parichinnavada we are explaining.
Yeah, Parichinnavada.
Parichinnavada in what happens? Upadhi covers the Brahman. So since now you are considering Upadhi as real, so what it has to do? It has to cover the Brahman, since being Upadhi is real, so it definitely break that means to cover the Brahman, some portion of the Brahman to break, to cover that. So definitely Brahman has to be bifurcated actually. So Brahman has to be bifurcated.
Yeah.
So which is not possible. So that's why in this way, when you consider Upadhi is real, bifurcation is not possible. So that's why Parichinnavada is not
incorrect.
Is not possible actually. Yes.
In the Pratibambhavada, we say that Brahman reflects in this avidya actually. If Brahman is all pervasive,
yes,
how we cannot experience the reflection of that because
since Brahman is all pervasive, you have to consider three things. That Brahman is nirdharmakaha, sarvavyapakaha, niravayavaha. So these properties you should take Brahman's three properties. If Brahman is nirdharmakaha, so then what will happen?
No reflection will come.
There is no sambandha with the upadhi. So for the reflection, so to have reflection, there should be some connection between the object. Bimba means object, and the place where it reflects. There should be some sambandha. So that surface should be clean or something. So like this, that sambandha is not possible because the object which is not at all having any property, it cannot maintain any sambandha with anyone.
We gave the example of sky with stars and everything.
No, that is another thing. That is not. No. Coal, yeah, coal. So like you see, you cannot see your face in the coal. Because there is no proper sambandha. So that's why to have the reflection, there should be a sambandha with the upadhi on the object. So since object is not having any dharma, it cannot maintain any sambandha with the upadhi. So that's why upadhi sambandha bhavat pratibimbaha is asambhavaha. It's not possible. Next. Sarva vyapaka. Second point is Brahman is sarva vyapakaha. Then from this, how can you say reflection is not possible? Mike.
We say Brahman is sarvapaka, so reflection is not possible.
Why?
Because to reflect, some place is required.
Yeah,
so
to reflect this separation is required between the object and the place where it reflects.
Yes.
There should be some distance. If this object itself is all pervasive, then where is the possibility of reflection? Is not possible. Next. Puneet.
Brahman is invisible.
Brahman is invisible. Why?
Because it doesn't have any properties.
No. Because it doesn't have any avayavas.
Avayavas.
Limbs are not there. So that's why it is not having any. So drishyatva bhavaha. That means no. So visible. It's not. It is invisible. Brahman is invisible. So invisible object cannot be reflected. Example is
Sky.
Sky.
Yeah,
Sky is invisible.
Yeah.
So and even sometimes because of ignorance we think that sky is reflected in the water of the pot. So but actually there sky is not reflecting, but what is reflecting? Only the tejamshas, the form for particles which are having the form, those only get reflected. Okay, next. Drishyatva bhavaha. Okay, next. So like this, we said that means if we consider Upadhi is real, then Pratibimba and Paricheda both are not possible. Then if you consider the Upadhi is unreal, unreal means how to understand unreal? Who is going to say unreal means? Tell. Absent. Very good. Upadhi is unreal. Tell. By mic mein boli actually, bro. Yes. We want you, bro. Otherwise, they'll torture me.
So, Prabhu, you gave the example of rope and a snake. If there's a rope and somebody is considering it as a snake,
yes,
is unreal.
Yeah. So seeing the snake in the rope, so that snake is unreal. That's a Brahma. That is a Mithya. So if now we are taking the Upadhi as Mithya. So if you take the Mithya Upadhi, then what about the Parichedavada? If Upadhi is unreal, then Parichedavada, is it possible or not? Tell.
That if Upadhi is unreal, then Parichedavada and Pratibimbavada also are unreal and they cannot exist.
So yes, they are not existing because Upadhi is not at all there, which is a Mithya Upadhi. Then what kind of covering it can do? Yes. So how it can, for the Paricheda, you should bifurcation is needed. So how it can bifurcate the Brahman, which is real? So Brahman is real and Upadhi is unreal, then bifurcation is not possible with that unreal. That is also just Mithya Kalpitam only. Parichedavada, Pratibimba is also Mithya only actually. Avidya Vilasitam. So next.
It should be some similarity.
But sometimes what they do, they try to explain the possibility of the Parichedavada and Pratibimbavada when Upadhi is Mithya. So then for that case, they give you some example to explain this, how it is possible. So they give the example of what? Ghatakash. They give the example of Ghatakash. Where in this case, what is happening? So to this Drishtanta, Ghatakash, that means reflecting of the Akash in the Ghata, or otherwise the covering of Akash space by the pot. So this, in this case, this example actually Akash is the Upahitam and Ghata is the Upadhi, where Upahitam and Upadhi both are real. So, but in the case of the Darshtanta, where there is Upadhi and Upadhi is unreal and Upahitam is real. So you cannot use the real example to explain the unreal things. Yes? Yeah. So finally what we are saying, Sarana Kanti. Give the mic to him. What? Then after that? So what conclusion we did?
Hare Krishna. So finally, we got all the explanation already.
Yes.
So finally there is, therefore there Parichannavad and Pratibimbavad both cannot be possible, cannot be feasible.
Online students say, Sajdev Prabhu, tell. So what is the conclusion you want to? You conclude it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I don't know what but you said about one more point that if there is, even if there is some this Parishad Vada and Pratibad Vada, even if it happens with real Upadhi, then the question arising is how the real Upadhi can be removed, because it cannot be removed by, you said about that Samana Dhikarena Jnanam, because that Jnanam, because just Jnanam cannot remove the Upadhi. And then you gave the example of Baldev Vidya Bhushan. He gave a very good example about that beggar. The beggar says one day, "Oh, I'm the king." So does the beggar become the king? No, no, he doesn't become the king. Same way you said about I am Brahma, Sija, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, will one become Brahman? No, 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 one cannot become Brahman. So just by this real Upadhi, it cannot be removed. So if you accept that, the real Upadhi is removed by Tat Prabhava, you said. Tat Prabhava. Then you are coming to our philosophy, you said.
Yes,
like
if you are coming, if you are accepting this, then you are coming to our philosophy. Very good, Prabhu. So,
thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So there, here, one more point we are missing. In the case of Upadhis are real, so what we are discussing, so of course, somehow, if you accept even the Paricheda and Pratibimba by the real Upadhi, so we are putting one more argument towards them. So in that case, how this Upadhi can be removed? So if Upadhi is real and it is covering the Brahman, that real Upadhi, then finally for the moksha, Upadhi should be finished. That means that covering has to be removed. Upadhi has to be finished. So then how it is possible? It cannot be possible by this Samanadikaranya Gnanam. That means by just thinking himself as I am Brahman, by this just knowledge. So the real Upadhi cannot be finished. Example is one beggar is there and he is thinking himself, I am the king, I am king, I am king. So can he become king? Actually, no, it is not possible. So similarly, so just by the Samanadikaranya Gnanam, Upadhis cannot be destroyed. He is giving the argument there. And if they say these Upadhis are removed by the influence of that Brahman only, Tattva, then we are saying that, oh, well and good, you are also coming to our track. Fine, this is no problem for us.
Yeah, and Prabhuji, you also gave the example of that small children, how you attract them by showing an empty chocolate wrapper. And then you say there's a chocolate inside, but actually it is empty. Therefore, Jiva Goswami is saying that it is actually cheating, actually.
Yeah, it is a cheat.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you. So next, finally, we are saying that, so,
two questions. I think one, the discussion which we're just having right now about Pratibhimbavad and Parichinnavad, is that mostly discussed in Govinda Bhasya, or is that here in this Sarva Samadhini?
It is in the, actually some explanations I was doing from the Baldev Bhushan's commentary in this same.
In the same thing. So it's not then Sarva Samadhini, it's in the Bhushan's commentary.
Yeah.
Okay. Second question was that in the case of Parichinnavad, as you're saying, that it's not possible for the Brahman to be divided, and but then how do we explain the idea that we are also Brahman and we also say the soul cannot be divided, but we are the ones who are covered up, whereas Krishna is not, and we are also not divided from Krishna. So then how do we explain that? What is the Vaishnava explanation for it?
Yeah, so in our case, actually, we are also having the one truth, that is Akhanda. That means Vadanti Tattvavidas Tattvam is Gnanam Advayam. Advayam means Akhandam, actually. It is unbroken, actually. So in our case, so that means absolute truth is one only. We also have to accept that. Everyone, that's universal truth. Truth is only one. So in the truth, if it is one and jivas are there, we are all, then how to see this? These jivas are there and also truth is there. That means it is becoming many. Then we say these jivas are not different from that absolute truth. So how we are accommodating this oneness, how we are achieving? Main difficulty with us is oneness and also removing the upadhi. So in our case, upadhi is also real and oneness also we are maintaining. How we are maintaining these two? So maintaining real upadhi and also oneness. This is done by the achintya shakti. That means mayam vidasya chichaktya kaivalye atmastita. So kaivalye stita atmani. So this is possible because of the Swarupa Shakti and the Bahiranga Shakti. He is having the two Shaktis, and these both Shaktis are achintya, actually. These two Shaktis are the inconceivable actually. And ultimately how they are doing? So they are doing such a way, they are giving the Upadhi, this Bahiranga Shakti is giving Upadhi to the Jivatma. And but this Upadhi is removed by the Swarupa Shakti. It is suppressing the influence of the Upadhi to the Jivatma. So, and also we are maintaining oneness. How we are maintaining oneness? It is Jivatma is a part and parcel means. So it is like we are giving example for this. Like the sun is there and sun rays are there. And these rays, like this is a small particles, these rays. So they are nothing but the sun only. But they are also separate from the sun. So can you differentiate the sun rays from the sun? No. Everything is sun only. So with example, he's going to tell that actually in the next, after 2-3 lines, he himself is going to clarify this. So we are doing this, that means by the Achintya Shakti. That means at the point, that means end of the day, everyone should accept the Achintyatvam. Because ultimately your logic, pure logic will not reach to the truth completely. There you have to accept somewhere. So Shabda, anyway, it is there, that is the supreme. And even this Shabda also, statements what are there, those statements you cannot understand by the logic. Those statements, so has to be taken as it is. And by his will only you can understand. By his special mercy. Like when he give this special ability to you, that is also he is only having. So then only you can understand these logics actually. End of the day, so tarka pratishtanat. We come to the point of, yeah. So, yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, yeah.
So we want to follow up on that. So then, are you saying that there are grades of Chit Shakti? Because if you're giving the example of sun and sun rays,
Yeah.
there is also in some sense, some difference in the capacity or the capabilities.
Yes,
so,
yes.
and that feature or that possibility is not available for the Advaitavadis. So that's why their argument would fail there.
Yeah. So that's why they are not accepting the energies actually. That's that they are. So since Advait Tattvam is one, so to maintain this, they rejected everything, all the qualities and the Shakti, everything they rejected. So that's why their route became very difficult actually. Their path became very narrow, and because they made such axioms while defining the philosophy, some basic axioms will be there. So those axioms are such a way. Their starting itself, they said Tattvam means Sajatiya Vijatiya Swagata Bheda Rahitam. When they put this statement, finish. So that means by this statement itself, their route became such a difficult route and very congested, and they cannot progress actually. They cannot justify the many statements which are there in the Upanishads and the Bhagavatam and many other places. So then what they will do? They will since they accepted very limitedly the philosophy, that means, so they rejected the Swagata Bheda also. Then what it happened? It became? It led to such a difficult situation. They are not able to justify the other statements of the Upanishads, and also that means which are establishing the bheda between the Jivatma and the Jiva and Ishvara. So those became difficult for them actually. They cannot explain. Then they give the secondary interpretation for that. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Ashray Gauranga.
Prabhu, I have one question. If you can kindly explain this Samanya Adhikarana Jnanam. This word, many times I heard this word. Many places it comes. But what exactly meaning of literally this Samanya means Adhikaran and Jnanam?
Yeah, this Gnanam which brings the oneness between the Jiva and the Brahman. That Gnanam which tells about the oneness between the Jiva and the Ishvara. Example is Aham Brahmasmi, Brahmaivaham, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, Tattvamasi, all these. These statements, what they are saying the oneness. So these lines are giving the information, actual knowledge. These lines are giving the knowledge. So which tells what kind of knowledge? Which tells about the oneness of Jiva and the Brahma. Jiva
This
Brahma.
term, through this term in Vyakaran or Nyaya also somewhere this come. Samanya Adhikaran, something.
This will come in Vyakaran also, but with a different meaning.
What exactly that Samanya Adhikaran word?
Like example. Neelaha Ghataha. Sundaraha Neelaha Ghataha. So Samanadikaranyam. That means Sundaraha Neelaha. Both, that means these are the terms actually, are having the, so are just they are the adjectives for the Ghataha. Ghata means pot. Sundaraha Ghata, Sundaraha Neelaha Ghataha. That means pot is blue and also beautiful. So blue, beautiful pot. So are the beautiful blue pot. So here Sundaraha, this word, and the Neelaha, these both words are in Samanadhikarana. That means their Samanadhikarana means in the Vyakarana means Samana Vibhakti. So they are in the having the same Vibhakti. That's Sundaraha word is also Prathama Ekvachan, Ghataha is also Prathama, Neelaha is also Prathama Ekvachan. So which are just Visheshana, and Ghata is also Prathama Ekvachan. That's why you are considering, since Samanadikaranyam is there between these three words, that's why Sundaraha and Ghataha became the Visheshana for the Ghataha. So like this, Vyakarana is having this kind of understanding. So here in the Vedanta, Samanadikarana means oneness, like this. And in the Nyaya also is having the, so Samanadikaranyam. For example, if you take the Ghataha is there, so Sundaraha and also Neelaha, this Ghataha. So that means in the Ghata, Neelatvam is also there and the Sundaratvam is also there. This is Neelatvam, Sundaratvam, both are in the one location, that is Ghata. So that's why there Neelatvam and Ghatatvam properties, sorry, Neelatvam and Sundaratvam properties are in the one place. So in that way, Nyayikas they interpret.
So Adhikaran, Nyaya means Adhikaran means the place.
Place. One, they are in the same location. Samanadikaranya means. Who?
Adhikaran also means Adhikara.
Huh?
Adhikara also.
Adhikara is different. Adhikarana means location. Adhikara is different. Okay, Mataji, tell me.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams, Prabhuji. Before concluding the last session, we also saw that in the case, if we take the Upadhi as unreal, then the Upahitam and Upadhi that they use, example that they give is real. So we cannot take the phenomenon to explain an object which is real and Upadhi which is unreal. You are giving an example of both which is real. So that cannot be taken. So that also we saw, Prabhuji. Yeah. And you gave in the example of an animal which is born in the sky, which is very ferocious. Yes. And then if you are comparing it with some other, people may not understand because we are not able to see what is illusory.
Yes.
So in that case also we can
real example to explain the real things, or otherwise the real example to explain the unreal things. That's not possible actually. So then finally what we concluded, Mataji?
Therefore, both Pradipimba and Parichetavada is illusion and it is not possible practically.
Yeah, so, both are illusion. Avidya Vilasitam. That's a Pratibhimbavada and Parichetavada. Both are illusory only, illusory concepts. And that's why Tena, that means by the Parichetavada and by the Pratibhimbavada, you cannot have the division between the Ishvara and the Jiva. Jiva Ishvara division is
not. Jiva Ishvara Veda or Vibhaga cannot be established by these philosophies.
Established. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
We are discussing these both philosophies, Parichetavada and Pratibhimbavada, and Baldev Bhushan is discussing there. But it cannot be the case that they are only using both of them. They have to be using only one. Which is the one which they use in their bhasya, in the Sharika bhasya? Does he use Pratibhimbavada or Parichetavada? Because it seems that Baldev Bhushan is countering many different variations of it. But which one is used by Sharika bhasya?
Oh, in the Sharirika Bhashya, actually, Sharirika Bhashya, these terms you don't get actually. So Saririk Bhashi, he keep on explaining. Then after that, their disciples, they saw this philosophy. Like, so Achintya Veda Veda, there is no specific explanation in our Bhagavatam commentary. So you have to fetch that actually. From the explanation of Acharyas, we are fetching that actually. Like Jiva Goswami established that in the Bhagavad Sandarbha. So, but before that, Sanatana and Rupa, so they know that philosophy, and without defining any specific place, that, so they keep on using with that view. With that view, they keep on commented on the various things. So like this only Shankaracharya also, without tossing or anything, without coining the any word, Paricheda and Pratibimba, so he used these concepts actually, time to time, either of these Paricheda or Pratibimba concepts, and also Abhasa, and he defined. Then after that, his disciples came, and they showed actually, our Acharya is saying this Pratibimba-vada, this Paricheda-vada, and like this. So they keep on giving the various modifications for this philosophy. So as much, and when the Vaishnavas, they had the debate with them, then they started having the, so some loopholes they are finding and giving the some extra work, extra patchwork. Like this, it became several branches now. This whole philosophy became several branches. Okay, iti. Next we'll go further. Iti Brahma vidyayoho Brahma avidyayoho paryavasane sati yadeva Brahma चिन्मात्रत्वेन अविद्यायोगस्यात्यन्ताभाव स्पदत्वात् शुद्धं तदेव तद्योगा शुद्ध्या जीवः पुनः तदेव जीवाविद्याकल्पितमायाश्रयत्वात् ईश्वरः तदेव च तन्माया विषयत्वात् जीव इति विरोधः तद अवस्था एव स्यात्. So finally, after rejecting the Pratibimba-vada and Paricheda-vada, so we have, that means bare words like Brahman and ignorance. Iti Brahma Vidyayoho Paryavasane. So finally we have, so Brahma and Avidya. So what they are saying overall, that means Pratibimba-vada, Paricheda-vada rejected, but the basic, if you see the understanding is what they are always saying, that Brahman is there and ignorance is there. So now we are taking these two terms. Once again we are going to say, that means we are going to say what? We are going to say the concepts what they accepted, those are all not proper actually. So the way the Jiva derived using the Brahman and ignorance, the way Ishvara is derived, they are not logical actually. So how it is said like this: Paryavasane sati yad eva Brahma, that means there is one Brahman, chinmatratvena, that means Brahman is chinmatra, that means it is completely, it's a chit. What is happening? Matratvena avidya yogaha, when there is a contact of avidya with this chinmatra Brahman, then what will happen? So avidya yogasya atyanta bhavaspadatvat. So avidya atyanta abhava. So avidya yogasya atyanta bhavaspadatvat suddham. So tadeva tad yogat shuddhya ashuddhya jivaha. Why we are saying Brahman is chit? Because Brahman is not having any contact with the avidya. It is pure. So that's why we are saying it is Shuddham. So Shuddham Brahma. They say Shuddham Brahma. Because why? What is the reason to say Shuddham Brahma? Because it is completely free from the touch of avidya. So that's why it is said as Shuddha Brahma. That Shuddha Brahma now, what is happening? That Shuddha Brahma, Tad Yoga, that means just by touch of the Agnana, what is happening? It is becoming the Ashuddha. Huh? This, by the touch of the Agnana, it is becoming the Ashuddha, and that is nothing but the Jivaha. Punah tadeva. Then that same Brahman, what is going to become? It is going to become the Ishvara. How? This Jiva, avidya kalpita. Jiva avidya. Jivatma is there and Jivatma's avidya is there. And by that avidya, so what is kalpita? What is created? Maya is created. And that for that Maya, who is the shelter? So that shelter is Ishvara. That Ishvara is also Brahman. Jiva avidya kalpita maya shrayatvad Ishvaraha. Okay? He is becoming the Ishvara actually now. That same Brahman became the Jiva. Same Brahman became the Jiva, and the same Brahman is now becoming the Ishvara. When he is becoming the Ishvara? When Jiva's avidya, due to by the Jiva's avidya, Maya is created, and so the Ishvara of that Maya, the controller of that Maya is the what? Is the Ishvara, and that is also nothing but the Brahman.
Who is controlling the Maya here and who is creating it? Kalpita by who?
Huh? By the Jiva. Jiva Avidya. So you can see in English, so that Brahman by impurity due to association with Avidya becomes Jiva. It is there. I sent in the last part. This is. Today I will send the later part. Tomorrow. Next, again, that Brahman only becomes Ishvara due to giving shelter to Maya, which is produced by the Jiva's avidya. So that Brahman is only becoming the Ishvara when by giving the shelter to the Maya, which is created by the Jiva's avidya. Understanding? It is a magic explanation. Huh? Okay, I'll let it complete one more sentence. Again, that Brahman only becomes Ishvara due to giving shelter to Maya, which is produced by the Jiva's avidya. Also, that Brahman only is Jiva due to being subjected to the same Maya. Once again, now this Maya, so Jiva is subjected to that Maya, so that's why that Brahman is becoming the Jiva. Understand? Also, that Brahman is only Jiva due to being subjected to the same Maya. This situation is contradictory. It's a virodaha. What is this? This Suddha Brahman. It is free from Ajnana. It is free from Ajnana. So that's why it is Suddha Brahman. Shuddham Brahma. Because it is free, it is Chit. It is completely free from ignorance. Avidya, Ajnana. It is free from the ignorance. Now, somehow or other, some contact of the Ajnana, because of contact of the Ajnana, what is becoming this? This is becoming the Jiva. Yes.
So what Shankaracharya's philosophy about the who created this ignorance, Upadhi? Who is the creator?
That is coming. See, he is giving answer to that. This Ajnana is there, and this Ajnana's contact with this Brahman, then what will become? This Brahman is becoming the impure and Asuddha, And that impure Brahman is known as Jivaha. Understood? If you understand everything properly, then you are all becoming the followers of Shankaracharya. You should not understand. That is my intention. My God. Okay, you understand, but you should not accept. That is good. So that then after that, Tadeva, Tad Yogat Ashuddhya Jivaha, Punaha Tadeva, Jiva Avidya. That means this is Jivana. This Jiva's Avidya is there. Jiva's Avidya. Due to this Avidya, what is created? Maya is created. And this Maya's Ishvara is Maya's control. There is some portion of the Brahman which is the controller of Maya. This is known as Ishvara. This is Ishvara. This is Ishvara. Huh? So how this Maya is created? Jiva Avidya. This is Jiva, and it is having the Avidya, and due to Jiva's Avidya, so that means Jivatma's Avidya, so Maya is created. Okay? And the control of that Maya is also Brahman only. So okay, that is a Vidya Vachinna Chaitanyam we say. That is a Maya. He is the controller of the Maya. And next, so that means Ishvara is also Brahman only. Jiva is also Brahman only. So now the point is here, what he is saying next. Punaha tadeva jiva avidya kalpita maya shrayatvad ishvaraha tadeva cha. So the tan maya vishayakatvat jivaha. Now this maya is there. Object of this maya is what? Is the that means Jivatma. Understanding? Because so Jivatma is the object of this Maya. Ishvara is the controller and Jivatma is the object. Jivatma is object of Maya. So one second, Prabhu. So then tan Maya vishayatvat jiva iti. So tadeva. That means this Maya, due to this Maya, this Brahman only is becoming the Jiva. Okay. This due to this Maya, the same Brahman is becoming the Jiva. Now what is happening, you see? First of all, we consider the Agnana, and that is touching with the, because of the contact of the Agnana, so this Brahman is treated as Jiva, and that is creating the Maya, and control of that is the Ishvara, and this Maya is once again, that means this Maya is controlling this Jiva. This Maya is controlling this Jiva. So here what is happening? This Maya is created by whom? Jiva Savidya. And what it is doing? It is controlling the Jiva. It is this Maya is cause for the creation of the Jiva. What we are saying, this Maya only is, that means finally creating the Jiva. This Maya is creating the Jiva. We are also saying, na, this arrow is there, this line. So creating also. That means what is say? Tad maya vishayakatvat. So that means this maya is the cause to have the jiva, and jiva is the cause for to have the maya. Then who is first? Then who is first? From where we have to take? What we are saying? So some agnana is there, and that agnana, so in contact with the Brahman, is becoming the jiva, and that jiva is creating the maya, and that maya is the controller of the jiva. So controller means then what is this avidya? If you say initially agnana is there, if you say initially agnana is there, na agnana in touch with the Brahman, it is creating the jiva, na. Then this agnana is what? If you ask, then what they say? Maya kalpitam. That is due to maya. Understand? You are understanding or not? Not understanding. If you ask them where this agnana is coming, initial agnana, they say that is due to maya. And from where this maya is coming? That is due to jiva's avidya. Okay? Understood? So then that is what virodaha. Iti virodaha. Tad avastha eva syat. This situation is completely contradictory situation. You are saying agnana is creating the jiva, and that jiva is creating the maya, and that maya is cause for this agnana. Simple words if you want to say. And yeah. And if you ask from where this agnana is coming, so that is due to maya. And if you ask then where from that maya is coming from, where means, then they say jiva savidya. Yeah. This is the problem actually. That's the Jiva Goswami what is saying. Virodaha. One second. We'll take. So that means tatracha suddhayam chiti avidya tad avidya kalpita upado tasyam ishvarakyah vidya tatha vidyavatvepi mayikatvam ityasamanjasa cha kalpana syat iti anusande. One more thing is in the next what? Next is Suddham Chityam, that is Chiti. This is Suddha Chiti. I am drawing here. This is Suddha Chit. In this Suddha Chit, Chiti Avidya. So due to Avidya, what is happening? Jiva. Suddhayam Chiti Avidya. And this Avidya, okay, this is what? Avidya Upadi. And this is Jiva, okay? This is Avidya. So that means in the Suddha Chit, due to this Avidya, who is created? Jiva is created. Then next, and tad vidya kalpita upadau. This is avidya upadi, and it is creating the jiva, okay, in the Suddha Chit. Then next, this jiva is creating the Vidya Upadhi, and that Vidya Upadhi is cause for the Ishvara. So the Vidya Upadhi. See, this Jivas Avidya is creating the Vidya, and due to that Upadhi, Ishvara is coming. Jivas Ajnanam only creating the whole. Why you are having this whole material world? They say that because of Jiva's ignorance. Jiva's ignorance only is the cause for everything. So that means, and from where this avidya Jivatma is getting, that is due to Maya. What is that Maya? That is controlled by the Ishvara. And who is that Ishvara? That is the Vidya Vachana Chaitanyam. Then what is that Vidya? That is created by the avidya of the Jiva. Understand what is they are saying? They are saying that whole world is because of the ignorance of avidya of the Jiva. Avidya of the Jiva is creating the Vidya, and which is the cause for the Ishvara, and that Ishvara is controlling the Maya, and that Maya is the cause for the ignorance of Jiva. Understood? Like, yeah, Paraspara Ashraya. Ashrayata. That's why here is saying that Vidyavatvepi Mayekatvam iti Mayekatvam ityasamanjasa. So Ishvara and an Upadhi created by that ignorance. So though appearing to be thoughtful theory, it is actually cheating. It is cheating. The contradiction should be considered. So that means ignorance exists in pure consciousness, and Vidya exists in an entity called Ishvara. So main point is, this is the Upadhi, Avidya Upadhi, and it is creating the Vidya. That is creating the Vidya. What? Mic mein boliye aap. Once again you should repeat.
Yeah, this is previously when we discussed about how Parchedavad and Pratibimbavad. So before that we discussed there is a Brahman, and Brahman is the Upadhi, Vidya Upadhi is Ishvara, and Avidya Upadhi is Jiva. That was there. And then discussion over. Now this discussion is again different kind of discussion is there, which is appearing to confusing. Just like here, the Brahman portion is covered by Avidya is the Jiva, then Jiva is cause of Ishvara. Two things, the two different things are there, previous as well as current.
Nothing too different.
Can you please explain?
So here Pratibhimbavada, Parichedavada we discussed, and Vidya, Avidya, these points we didn't discuss from where they are coming. Yes? So now we are explaining those Vidya and Avidya, how they are coming. Okay. What is there? Two different things.
Why there's so many jivas are created and very few ishvaras, or yeah, one ishvara is created. They yes.
Okay. Yes, Jai Gopinath Prabhu, what do you want to say? Yeah.
Actually, I just want to say one point and one question.
Yes, bro.
It was like whether the hen is the first or the chicken or the egg is the first.
Egg is the first.
So their philosophy is like that, just going around.
Yes, yes, yes.
And also the question I have is that they don't have an explanation that something called avidya exists. That means Brahman and avidya, two things are existing.
Yes.
So that avidya can cover something. So they never come to that point of two things exist at the same time.
Yeah. So
it's all only Brahman, but where the avidya comes from.
They say, where is the origin of this avidya? They say that that is not existing. And Brahman is only really existing. That's why one only. And that is only ignorance, that avidya is due to Maya. Then if you ask, where is this Maya? And this Maya is created by the avidya of the Jiva. And how this Jiva is created? That is due to the Maya. And this everything is illusion, you know. This whole explanation is also illusion, and everything, you are also illusion, I am also illusion, books are also illusion, everything is illusion, nothing is only Brahman is. If you get so much confusion, then they say that this is illusion and this is everything is illusion. And so this everything is illusion. You should understand everything is illusion. Finally, come to the only Brahman. Then why we have to do the practice? That is also illusion. Practice also is illusion. They don't accept the practice also is something real. No, that is also simply illusion. And finally, you should come out from everything.
Is it like that, Prabhu, that the Brahman don't know how it has been covered into Jiva? So we don't know really have the process of giving it up. It automatically gives up and realizes when it is Brahman, then it is Brahman. So only Brahman exists. Is it kind of that way they are explaining it?
Yeah. Finally, they say that. So there is, that means everything seems is illusion. So that's why you are not able to understand illusion. Who are you? You are also not there actually. And everything is Brahman. It's quite difficult actually.
So how do we explain in our philosophy that although the jiva is pure, at the same time it is somehow misidentifying with the material energy?
Yeah.
Now, how can something which is pure misidentify with the external energy?
Because of the because of the Maya, we said. What we said? Aversion towards the Krishna. So that's why Maya is capturing. We are not saying that Maya is cause for the directly Jiva to forget the Ishvara. No. Jiva forgot, Jiva Vimuka. Jiva is Vimuka. Jiva is having the absence of the Bhagavad Gnanam. So because of the absence of the Bhagavad Gnanam, then Maya attacked on that. So then it is covering the Swarupa Gnanam of the Jivatma. And then, so it is giving also next to Viparita Gnanam. That means then Jivatma is thinking I am body. So that means then when it happened, Jiva is forgetting the Bhagavan. So Anadi, it is from the beginningless. So like this, that is very rational actually. Jiva Goswami says, so from the Vasudeva Samadhi, at maximum we can derive this philosophy actually. So Jivatma is bewildered by the Maya, and this Maya is also original Shakti of Ishvara only. Original Shakti of the Ishvara only. And why she is only attacking on the Jivatma? Because she is not able to see some aversion in the Jivatma towards the Lord. Vimukata she doesn't want to bear, because she is a devotee. She is a devotee of the Lord. That's why Lord is not interfering. One may ask, why then Lord is not stopping this? So then immediately we are saying that, so this is because he has given the powers to her, and she is also devotee, and he cannot withdraw his mercy on her. So that's why that Maya is doing her work. Why she is doing? She is doing, yes, right thing only, because someone is aversion towards the Lord. So being she is a devotee of the Lord, she is doing. She can do that. And then that's why this Jivatma can come out from this when it turn its face. So its face towards the Lord. Then immediately Lord will, so Mameva ye prapadyante Maya metam tarantite. Then they will cross over this Maya. Easy. So this is very fair actually. Philosophy is very fairly it is looking. There is no virodha. Is there any virodha in these concepts? Are there any virodhas? We are not seeing any virodhas. So it is, everything is Shakti of the Lord. So Lord's Shaktis only are working in different ways. One is bewildering, another is removing that bewilderment. But they need to know, they also need the Shakti. Without the Shakti, how they can explain the samsara? There is a need of Shakti. So that is nothing but Ajnana they are saying. That is nothing but Maya, Maya. And who is creating that Maya? That Maya is created by the ignorance of the Jiva. And who is the controller of that Maya? Is the Ishvara. And he is also Vidya Vachina Chaitanyam only, that Brahman only. And now then, so who is creating this Maya, you said? So this Jivatma's ignorance. Then who created the ignorance of the Jivatma? Then the Maya only, they are saying. So there is a problem is coming actually. There is a big problem actually. Because they are not accepting the Shakti. They are not accepting the Shakti in the Suddha Brahman. So if they accept Shakti, they are thinking that, oh, Shaktiman and Shakti, then it is the Dvaitam. Then that philosophy will not digestible for them. So then that's why, okay, now they have to maintain Advaitam, they need to reject they has to reject the Shakti. And to reject the Shakti, so that's why they are manufacturing this whole philosophy, but it is not having any fairness is not there. In the explanation, there is no fairness. So Jiva Gnanam is creating the Maya, and that Maya is creating the Jiva Gnanam. What is this? Who is first then? So that is the problem actually, we are getting there. So that's why how we are maintaining oneness, then you are also, then one, they may ask, you are accepting the Shakti, then how you will maintain, you are also having the Dvaitam, but your philosophy is also Advaita only, na? Everyone's philosophy is Advaita. That means Advaya Gnanam only. Vadanti tattvavidas tattvam as Gnanam Advayam. That means we are also accepting the truth is one, Advayam only. Then how to maintain that? We are saying Shakti matoha abhedaha. There is no difference between the Shakti and Shaktiman. Example is sun example we are giving. Sun is a sun's rays, sun's shadow. Sun's shadow is also not different from the sun. Yes, if there is no sun, can you see any shadow? No shadow. The shadow is nothing but the Maya, Bahiranga Shakti. So like this, so we have that means no problem of the accepting this Advaita. Simultaneously we are maintaining Advaita and Advaita. But if you accept only that means no Shakti. If you bombard that, then your whole, that means philosophy will not support. Then many slokas in the Bhagavatam is establishing the Shakti of the Lord, Shakti of the absolute truth. In the first sloka, Janmadjasyeto Anvayat. So Satyam Param Dhimahi. There the Param word, that means Param is Brahman. Satyam is Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. That Satyam is what? That is Brahman. That is Param. That is Parameshwaraha. Who is saying? Param is equal to Parameshwara, Vyasdev is saying. No. Who is saying? Sridhar Swami is saying. Param Parameshwar. There itself Sridhar Swami accepted immediately. Param means Parameshwaraha. That Shaktiman he is. So that is so from there we are all clearly understanding. Shakti is there. In the Bhagavad Sandarbha it will be coming once again very detailed. Why we have to accept the Shakti. Shakti is there with in the truth. Then Shakti, even the modern philosophy, neither energy can be created and nor be destroyed. So energy cannot be created and cannot be destroyed, only can be transformed. This is a principle actually. Then they want to destroy the energy actually. They are accepting energy and they are saying this is due to the illusion, and this energy is finished when there is illusion is also finished. How the energy is finished? Is it possible? Even modern science will not support the Advaita philosophy. The concept what they explain. No, modern science will not accept this. Yeah.
Two things. One, you said that at first the Jiva turned away from God, and then Maya captured the Jiva and put in a further illusion, because Maya can't stand an aversion to God in any Jiva. So when we put such kind of explanation, we are giving a chronology to Jiva's getting into illusion, at the same time we say that the jiva is, from anadi time in this material world. There was not a point when the jiva was not under Maya's capture. So then how do we reconcile that?
Jivas are not just in the here. So it doesn't mean that the jivas are all there in the only material world. So in the Surya Mandala, if you see, Surya Mandala is also, there are the sun Gabhisthanam. That means there are the rays. Inside rays are there or not? Outside also rays are there. The same way jivas are there in the Swarupa of the, that means that Swarupa means Vaikunta. In the Vaikunta also, or the Goloka also jivas are there, and jivas are also there here also. In the both places. Like the rays can exist in the globe and also outside to the globe. So are there. And these jivas are from beginningless actually. So they are in the absence of the knowledge, Bhagavad Gnanam, and that's why they are so come to that means in the clutches of Maya. And then Maya is doing this. Who is Pramana? Bhagavatam bhayam ditiya viniveshita syat. Ishada petasya viparyayo smritihi. Bhagavatam is saying.
You didn't answer my question, because what I said, the objection I placed was that we'll have to accept there was a point when the jiva turned away. And since we are saying the jiva is under the capture of Maya from beginningless time, that means that event is inconceivable as per the chronology or the time if we take it. So that cannot be logically understood.
No, that is so because beginningless word is there, anadhi. So these jivas and also Vedas and also the Shakti Maya, everything, they are existing. They are all anadhi. Jivatma is also anadhi. We say Jivatma is anadhi. Ishwar is also anadhi. So if you say then one may ask, if you want to give the explanation for their anadi, so then people definitely will ask, then when onwards then Lord is existing. So that's why anadi word itself is closing the discussion. Finish. There is beginningless. So where you can find the beginning then? If you find the beginning, then what is the meaning of beginningless? So the word beginningless you should accept. The meaning, if you are accepting, means then you cannot find any beginning.
So why can't they say here that Jiva and Avidya, they are in this cycle of beginningless?
So yeah, they can say that means, but they should be logically saying, na? So if they say, then why it is happening? We'll be immediately asking. So you are saying the avidya of the jiva is creating the Maya, and Maya is cause for the jiva's avidya. So there itself that is having the loop actually some closed loop is having. So then you tell me one thing as first, but how can you say this is not logical actually? That's a virodha is there actually. So we are not having that kind of loophole. That kind of loophole we are not having in our philosophy. This is generally every Vaishnava, that means Vaishnava Acharya pointed this in the according to the Advaita philosophy. You will be seeing this commonly even in the once again Bhagavad Sandarbha in detail. Once again this avidya is defeated in the Sarva Samvadini. In the Sarva Samvadini of Bhagavad Sandarbha you will be seeing once again. The big discussion was there. Here one point, Baldev Vidyabhushan is saying, Suddhe Brahmani Akasmat. That means Suddha Brahman is there, Akasma, suddenly, all of sudden. Avidya Sambandha. There is a contact of the Avidya with the Suddha Brahma, Suddha Brahman. So then what is happening? Then that Brahman is becoming the Jiva. Then that by that Jiva is creating the Maya. And that Maya's shelter is the Brahman only, but in the form of Ishvara. And that Ishvarasya Maya, then by that Ishvara's Maya is the cause for the Jiva. And that Maya is only cause for, that means that Maya is cause for the Ajnana, and because of that Ajnana's touch only, Brahman is becoming the Jiva. What is this? You see clearly in the Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary. So de Brahmani akasmat avidya sambandha tat sambandhat tasyaha jivatvam. Because of contact with the avidya, Brahman is becoming the jiva. Tena jivena, by that jiva, so maya yaha ashrayah bhutva tad brahmeva ishvaraha. That means by that jiva, that means created, jiva creates the maya, and being the controller of that maya, that Brahman only is becoming the Ishvara. Then that Ishvara's maya, this Ishvara's maya is maya paribhutam Brahma. That means Ishvara's maya is covering the Brahman, and that is known as jiva. Then what is this? This is viruddha. Is vipralapo. I am avidushameva. This is vipralapaha. Baldev Devotion is saying it's too much talking. This is avidushameva. It is, so it is not, any scholar is not going to accept this. Any pandit. Not vidusham. It is not the accent. Intelligent people will not accept this. Iti bhavaha. Huh? He is saying, what do you want to tell me, Rangmay Prabhu?
I will not accept it.
Yes. He is not going to accept. He is Vidusha. You are Vidusha. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Suddenly. Yeah. Suddenly, all of a sudden, we don't know what happened. So this Brahman came in contact with the avidya, and that is called the jiva, and that jiva created the maya, and so that jiva, maya, and maya controller is also Brahman only, and that means that is known as Ishvara, and that Ishvara's maya is covering the Brahman, and that is jiva. That is jiva.
Okay. I have a. Can I?
Done for the class. Okay.
The Maharaj is gone, so we can continue the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to speak, Swarnakanti? Want to speak in the mic?
You can speak.
Okay. Prabhu, I was saying two things. One was that if suppose somebody were to say that the avidya is illusion, it's not there. It's just in your mind. It's just in the mind of the one Brahman or Jiva who is somehow deluding that avidya is there. It is just like, suppose there's a child and he starts thinking that I'm a poor person, although his father is rich. So it doesn't require any learning. It requires unlearning. It requires identifying that we are Brahman. We are actually full of Satchit Ananda. So there is no need for any knowledge. There's only need for realization that we are, Satchit or Chinmatra or something. And whatever we are suffering is because of illusion. So how do you counter that?
I will take after. I didn't in the starting. I missed actually something. I didn't get.
So another point I had was that maybe we should have like some kind of like a Vad Vivad competition where a person acts like the Mayavadi and he studies that, and then let's see how many people really understood it, because everybody can say I'm here, I'm with you, but when the time comes to really defeat the Mayavadi and go with their arguments, it could be really tough.
Yeah, actually, but better we avoid this, because if they hear directly from the Mayavadi, so because of their enviousness and that kind of association, like now we are discussing the 10th canto Kamsa, when he was in the presence of the Vasudeva and Devaki, he was speaking about the self-realized knowledge. And when he was in association with that, in the same night, he just one night he slept, and after that wake up and he called his demonic ministers, and in their association he is speaking entirely different. And once again he was speaking greatly, that means he was affected by their association, and he wants to kill all the children, and he wants to do everything, and he wants to just destroy the Vedic culture like this. So that means just by the association, it's very dangerous actually. The consciousness is get polluted. So even our Acharya already warned Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, don't hear this bhashya from them. If you hear, then bhakti will become, that means there is a great danger actually. So sometimes we may get affected. So whoever is very blessed actually, even knowledge will not going to save us. Only thing is blessings are there, whoever especially blessed soul and by the Lord and by the acharyas, and those people will just touch this and they'll come back. Otherwise, there is a great danger is there, and we don't recommend to have a debate with the Mayavadis. No. Anyway, we have a peaceful and nice philosophy and very enjoyable actually. It is Susukamam Kartum Avyayam. So this bhakti is so susukham. It's a very pleasure giving thing. So you are all enjoying or not in the bhakti life? Yes, ultimately that is the purpose of the life. Just enjoyment. You are getting or not? Then what is the problem? No. No role actually. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. So you are all on-site students. You are all having celebrate the holiday. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Actually, one more thing. Actually, I forgot to mention about the exam. So our Manjari Mataji was mentioning one point. She was saying that she wants to log in through the only one device and screening the sharing the screen, her screen. But this is we are not going to accept, Mataji, because you may share the screen, but you may open the book and write. So how can we test that? So that's why we want to see your whole surroundings properly. So wherever you are writing, and that we recommend to write on the paper on the nicely. Show us to the only papers are there with you and project that place, and so that we can understand that you are not seeing any other places. You are always looking into your papers only and the screen where the question paper is shared.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, my suggestion wasn't just to have one camera. I was just suggesting if we can type the answers instead of writing on paper and scanning it. And
yeah, then that is, yeah, if you want, you can type, but you have to show that. So you, with one more camera, so you are not seeing any other places.
That's understood. That's clear. I was just suggesting not to write on paper, but if you send it in a Word document, we can just type in the answers. It's easier.
That is also fine, no problem. So you can type it, but we need to see your surroundings.
Yes, that's understood.
Yeah. Okay, Mataji. Thank you very much. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. And you should not switch off the camera at any time. Hold that when exam starts, no switching off and nothing. You should not touch that camera which is projecting your place. It should be completely all the time on. And in front of us only should scan it and send. Yeah, Sasdev Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji, how about giving us one day holiday tomorrow for studies?
Huh?
You had said एक बार आपने बोला था कि आप एक दिन देंगे.
What is that?
Request for a holiday tomorrow for preparing for the exam for day after.
You are having full holiday, Prabhu. You are having whole day.
No, we get time only in the evenings when we come back from office, na?
Oh, okay. So Prabhu, only this 1 hour time, how it can save?
1.5 hours, Prabhu. Adha ghanta, half an hour before we start thinking about the class, and then that also goes. In the mind, we are meditating. Class hai. Adha ghanta wo bhi jata hai. We are remembering you. And then we also revised, 10-15 minutes before the class that you only said, pad ke aana thoda
Prabhu, this question should be asked by the on-site students because they are having a lot of difficulty. But they are not asking. That's why I am not giving holiday.
नहीं आपने बोला था एक बार कि you will give, that's why I asked. Okay,
बोला
thank you.
क्या? मैंने ऐसा बोला? हाँ? Holiday? हाँ? On the exam day? On the exam day, you are not having class. There is no problem. So, but so before exam also I said like this.
Once you had said, Prabhuji, in few classes ago, I don't know, I must be in the recordings. Okay, it's okay. Whatever you all decide. Ask others what they want.
Nobody wants. You want? Anyone wants a holiday tomorrow? Huh? 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 Okay, I will decide and send the message.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranam. I'll send the message in the group.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Just now, when Mataji asked that if she can write on the laptop directly, you said it is okay. So is that okay? Means you have to be, if you write directly on the computer, that means
she has to share her screen, and also she has to share her surroundings, how they are. Then only we are allowing. Otherwise, no.
There will be camera in front of the screen.
Yes, yes.
If I open any other screen, it will be recorded.
Immediately we'll be seeing they are opening other.
Sharing the screen in the.
Yeah. Where is she is typing? That screen also has to be shared, and also surroundings has to be shared with another camera. Then it is allowed. Otherwise, no.
In that case, typing is allowed. So then no need to scan. We can upload that document directly.
Yes, yes.